Hello, and welcome to the Tenfold AI Podcast, MarketWatch edition. I'm Heather, and today I'm super stoked to talk to Anjelika Surprise, which is like the best name ever. I can't say your name or even think of your name without kind of smiling. I'm like, what a great name. Yeah, it's a fabulous name. Yeah. So on this show, I talk to everyone from CMOs and fractional marketers and agency owners and marketing directors, anybody who is working, within marketing today. Because the landscape's changing. We've got new tools, new technology, new expectations on our roles. And I just think it's fascinating to talk to people who are like in it, like boots on the ground in it. We don't talk about, what Elon Musk says about AI or what, like Seth Godin says about marketing. All that is very nice to read about and listen to, but sometimes you just have to talk to people who are like actually practicing it day to day, and you're doing just that. So I want to ask, I think a good place to start is tell us a little bit about your role now. Like, if you want to share a title, that's fine, but what's kind of your role expectation? And then how did you get into marketing?
Yes, of course. So right now, I'm a marketing manager at a software company called MentorMentee. We are a startup, so it's been really fun just leading the marketing, getting help from my team, of course, but really just molding what that looks like. It's been a lot of creativity flowing. It's been a lot of building, a lot of refining. So it's really fun just to have the flexibility almost to try new things and figure out what this market is really looking for and how we can support the best that we can. So it's been a really fun experience. My marketing career started, I would say, while I was in college. I interned at a museum, and that kind of got me into marketing. It really wasn't part of the plan. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do yet while I was in college. I changed my major many times, but that gave me sort of the entryway to marketing was that internship.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that was sort of the same vibe that I'm in now. It's just like, let's try these things. Like, there's no harm, no foul in trying things, seeing what works, figuring out what your stick is for the brand. So yeah, and here I am now and back at it, and I'm
Yeah.
just loving it. It's great.
So what was the initial draw? Do you remember? Like what about that role at the internship at the museum? What about it were you like, oh, I think I could be really good at this?
It's the people. I'm going to be honest. I think I love marketing so much because it's very people centric. You get to learn about people. You get to just find the types of people that your brand helps support and the creativity that goes into it. I love that as well. I also love the strategy behind it all. There's so many facets of marketing, and consistency, making sure they all kind of click is important for me, but the people aspect is I think what got me just really into it. Yeah, that's probably right. Wow, that's crazy. Yes. hmm Yes, absolutely. Our little marketing community that we have, and that just goes back to the people. I mean, it's internal, external. I love it. Yes, yes. So there's definitely a lot of opportunities for pivoting and refining when you're in a startup, as you're learning, as you're growing. And I think that I try to be consistent as much as I can. And where I see brands break consistency is when they stop thinking sort of holistically about how they show up, because it's more than messaging. It's colors, it's fonts, layouts, templates, voice, all of these things. And as brands grow, sometimes these elements can start to evolve independently. Everything still looks good, but on the outside to the consumer, it's no longer connected. So as marketers, I just think that it's easy to see the same sort of assets or the same sort of sentence and phrases over and over again. And maybe you want to inject some differentiation in there, but for the audience, it might be the first time that they're encountering the brand. So I think to help scale and remain consistent while you're doing these things, while you're refining, while you're maybe pivoting on some messaging, as long as you are clear on your intent and consistent in all of those avenues, I mean, extends to platforms, your website, like everything, then I think it's more successful that way to sort of inject those layerings of your messaging in an early stage. Yes, early on in my career, I would say I experienced that a little bit. And, it's just finding a way, again, there's still time to sort of inject those new ideas, but not just chase after what's shiny, like really step back and take a pause and say, okay, this may be new and trendy and we want to inject some of that in our marketing, but is it falling back to that intent of what we're doing, So that's kind of how I would manage that. But yeah, definitely more early on in my career, I would experience that. It's just having a conversation, taking a step back and pausing about what is the intent of this new shiny object that we're adding. Yeah, perhaps. I mean, I just keep going back to the audience. Us as marketers, we see the same things over and over again. It's easy to want to grab something new and different. But as our audience, again, they're seeing us for the first time, maybe, or they're seeing us for the second or third time. And by that third or fourth time, they're like, yes, I know this brand. It's recognizable. You're just creating that recognition. And so I think just finding a balance with implementing new and different ideas, just finding a balance with the intent of the new and different ideas, and if it still sounds like the brand at the end of the day. It's really just defining the line between the branding and marketing. And, the brand is the most consistent, and marketing is where you can really sort of test those ideas. So I think that AI itself on its own doesn't necessarily create inconsistency or consistency. I think that it amplifies what's already there. So that foundation that you've created, again, going back to the intent, the clarity of what we're trying to do, it's just going to accelerate that. So brands that maybe just create more noise perhaps aren't clear on what that foundation looks like. If the system, the foundation, if it's clear, AI tools will help reinforce that consistency and reinforce that recognition. Whereas, if it's not, then it will cause inconsistencies if that core foundation of your brand and what you want to put in your marketing efforts is not clear. That inconsistency will show up and it will be more visible. So yeah, that's how I see it. I think being vague on what your goals are with AI will some inefficiencies. It'll cause some inconsistencies. I guess it's sort of like a mirror. It's going to reflect how well defined your brand is and how well defined your messaging and your goals of your marketing are. Exactly. Yes. Yes. And that I agree. In my experience, the more clear you are in what you're trying to say, your goals, what you're trying to accomplish, what you want, if it's content that you're creating, what the content, who it's targeting, what sort of points you want to add in there. Like the more clear, the better. And that is just going to increase your efficiency with AI and help you scale. With any, that's a good question. I think it varies. Standard across the board, I'm looking to make my workflow more efficient. I'm looking to make my workflow more efficient. I'm looking to ensure consistency. And I'm also looking to be able to scale what we're doing. I want to scale, our foundation, and I want to be efficient at that. I think there's many things. I think it varies for sure based on what tool it is, but overall, I'm really looking to be more efficient in my workflow. I'm looking to inject that consistency and have it across the board. Fear it. There's, my kind of going back to AI is going to expose how clear you are in your messaging. It's going to make you more efficient or it's going to make you less efficient. I don't think they should be scared. I think there's always going to be a need for us lovely humans and really using AI not telling it to do things for us, but really using it as a tool to help scale what we're already doing. It's not taking. It's not about talent. It's about feeding. Training, using the tool to allow you, yeah, to allow you to just amplify what you're already doing. So I think maybe people that are scared of it see it as a tool that just does stuff, it just does anything you tell it or need it to do. But it's a lot more than that. I think at least how I use it, I use AI almost as like an extension of my brain, I guess I would say. It's because it's not going to help you think, you know. AI is not there to help you think. You still have to do that. You still, as a marketer, need to strategize and think about all of the things that set up your strategy. And so that's what I would say. I think it's goes a little bit deeper than that. But using it, what are we doing? Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah, that just confirms you still got. No, I'm kidding, but it's just you still have to have that sort of marketing know-how to, sort of create whatever you're building in an AI tool like Pro Mode, with the evergreen content, make sure that is up to snuff and just ensuring all of those inputs are consistent and on brand, so that way you're not producing AI slop, as you called it, or any just random words thrown on a page. It still sounds like who you are as a brand. No, I mean, like you said, I have had many experiences using various tools in the AI space, and some tools are better than others, but I don't have any fear. I think that, again, a lot of these tools are here to make our jobs more efficient and just to help build that consistency across various platforms, because there's so many platforms out there. I mean, there's going to be a new platform in a couple years, I'm sure. I mean, going back to when we met 8 years ago, marketing has changed so much in that short time. I mean, it's not even the same anymore. So yeah, I think it's just going to I think it's here to make our lives easier and our jobs more efficient and allow us to scale at a level that we've never been able to do before. Yes, I would say that AI has allowed me to hone in on just more of website design. I've gotten my hands on a lot of website design recently. It's allowed me to have more time to do that, research best practices for what that looks like, and also allows me more time to listen, to listen to what people are saying, what people think, what the industry is feeling. It allows me to, yeah, it allows me to do a lot. And it's more than a website design, honestly. It's allowed me to spend more time in various marketing disciplines, which is awesome. But it's great. Yeah, it's great. It's when used correctly, it can allow you to really to really amplify what you're already working on and add to it. This is a good one. I think that I would say to prioritize clarity and consistency across the entire brand experience. So, what does that look like? Let's define it. And then stop overthinking repetition as a negative, going back to, again, audiences don't experience your brand all at once and they could be encountering it for the first time. So that repetition really builds recognition, and over time recognition builds trust. So that's what I would leave today with. Your audience isn't on every day. They don't know. Crazy. Yeah, and algorithms, that's a whole nother thing. I mean, algorithms I've seen change vastly over time. It's incredible. So, yeah, your audience doesn't remember what you posted last week. I think it evolves, over time. Early brands, they often will repeat themselves to be understood, and that's okay. That's, what you should be doing. But as they grow, I think it's less repeating sort of the same thing. It's more of just clarity again of the intent and guiding how everything shows up. So you're not necessarily repeating the same things, but you're repeating the intent. The look and feel and voice should stay familiar even as campaigns change. So when people are reading new content that you've posted, and maybe it's a little bit of a different angle, but they're still able to know, like, oh yeah, this is so and so. I know exactly who this brand is because it sounds familiar. So I think it evolves, and it should, but yeah, that recognition is so important. I mean, you want people to know what your colors are. You want people to know what your brand looks like, and want them to feel familiar when they're reading a social media post or a blog or an email. I think AI is going to be my number one answer. I think that is a very important skill that fresh grads should focus on learning. I have seen it just in the last year evolve so much. It is not just a tool, it is on everything. If you've got HubSpot, AI is in the background on various features on there. It's just everywhere. So I think that there's so many other things that they should, develop their skills on, but AI is number one in my opinion. Yeah. Yeah, they'll never know a time before AI in marketing, We'll remember. I know. Yeah. Too. It'll be interesting to see what the landscape is going to start looking like. I mean, we're a couple years in with AI and really AI everywhere, but we're a couple years in with seeing AI in marketing very commonly. I mean, look at Coca-Cola. They've just launched their second video that was completely made with AI. I liked it. I mean, it's crazy that we can create content like that. And it's awesome. It's awesome. I think that as we evolve with AI, it's going to have more of that sort of human-esque element as we humans continue to work with it. And I think we'll get to a point in the future where it'll be very hard to decipher what is AI and what is not. Yeah, that is a really good thought. I have thought about it, but not enough to have sort of an opinion on it. I I don't think I don't think there is. So I think we're kind of in the wild, wild west of AI at the moment, which might sound scary to some, but this is where we have an opportunity to shape some of those things, being in it. It's exciting. So I think it's helpful just to experiment with it, see if it fits in your workflow. AI may not be for everybody, and that's okay, but it doesn't hurt to give it a try. If it makes your life easier, great. If it doesn't, maybe there's another AI tool, that's just trying it out, seeing what works. And as we are in the wild, wild west of AI, really just being mindful of that and realizing that this is the opportunity we're in right now to be able to shape it. Yeah, exactly. Say, I'll leave with this. I think marketing is at such an exciting time right now. There are so many tools that I'm still learning about coming out. And I think that now is a really good time to experiment and just try new things, make your workflow more efficient, more consistent. It's just a really fun time to be a marketer right now. There's so many cool, these are the shiny objects we can go after. You know what I mean? I was so against them in the beginning because, you don't want to break your consistency. Yeah, yeah. But these are the good shiny objects that you can go and try and inject in your workflow to make it more efficient and better support your audience and the goals that you're trying to accomplish. Yeah. That's just another example. There's so many tools, and we're going to see so many more tools. So now's the time to give them a shot and try them out.